Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're finishing up our current series in the New Player's Handbook, talking about the species found in this new book. Most of them are species we've all seen before. Humans, dwarves, elves, they're all here. And some of our old classic favorites from the different books of D&D, the Goliaths and the Orcs, have been brought into the fold. And today we're wrapping it up with a fan favorite, the Tieflings. Tieflings were in the original Player's Handbook in 2014, and they have continued to be one of the most popular species in all of Dungeons & Dragons. With their devilish charms and their natural affinity for magic and charisma, it's hard to argue with the Tiefling. But how have they changed? Are they different than they used to be? In the older books, I've got several of them above me, whether you're talking about the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide or the Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, there's definitely been a lot of talk about the legacy of Tieflings, about whether or not you draw your legacy from different archdevils and the different layers of the Nine Hells. But they've actually taken it a bit further than that, even. They have evolved the Tiefling into something that is simple yet deep, and we're going to be getting into the details of how it works in just a moment. Before we do, though, I'd like to let you know, Relax Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know that you're a supporter. But also you get early access to my videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I upload them a day early for members only. If that interests you, you can click the join button. It's just down there next to the subscribe button under the video. I'd love to see you in the comments with your member badges. And if it doesn't interest you, that's totally fine too. Just being here, watching the video, liking, subscribing, all that stuff that costs nothing at all. That's the best way to support me. I really, really appreciate you coming on this journey with me through the brand new Player's Handbook into the new and improved version of D&D. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. So Tieflings begin. They are humanoid creatures of medium size. I think that of the two sizes, medium is got the slight advantage. Neither of them have anything wrong with them. They both got their perks. I just think medium tends to come out on top, no pun intended. So I'm going to say that's 10 out of 10. They also have the standard 30-foot movement speed. Again, nothing wrong with that. I think that some species having a speed boost is good, but 30 feet, nothing to complain about. That's 9 out of 10. Then they do have dark vision. It's good that that wasn't taken away from them. And it's a standard 60 feet dark vision. A lot of races, or a lot of species rather, in this new book do have extended dark vision straight away, but I still think that having it is good. I still think that it is something that is invaluable. If you don't have it, you really miss it. So I'm still going to give standard dark vision 10 out of 10. Then you get your Infernal Legacy, and this is where things get interesting. First of all, you get otherworldly presence. All Tieflings get this. This grants you the Thaumaturgy cantrip. Thaumaturgy is a fun cantrip that's actually been slightly improved in the New Player's Handbook. In the old days, it had all these thematic spiritual wonder things you could do, making your voice boom, making the earth tremor, making things seem spiritual, supernatural, and scary. Very on point for a Tiefling. Now it actually has a mechanical benefit written into the spell, granting you advantage on intimidation checks when you make your voice boom. And then, of course, there's other roleplay things you can do with it. It's fun and it's thematic. It's not the most powerful cantrip in the world, but getting it for free, I give that 8 out of 10. The Fiendish Legacies, however, this is the replacement, and we've seen this as well with some of the other species in the book, elves specifically. We see this very similar, and that you choose where your Tiefling draws their legacy from between the 3 major types of fiends. The Abyssal Tieflings draw their legacy from demons from the abyss. The Infernal Tiefling draw their legacy from the devils of the Nine Hells. And then there's the Chthonic Tieflings, So are they drawing it from like the space between worlds, or are they drawing it from, the outer realms, from, Cthulhu and the like? Maybe they're connected to the Yugoloths. It's a little bit tricky to tell, but they're basically tieflings that aren't devils or demons. They're something else. Each of these legacies grants you a couple things. It grants you a damage resistance and then some spells. For the Abyssal Tiefling, you get resistance to poison damage. You also get the Poison Spray cantrip, which has been reworked and it's now an attack roll based cantrip, so it's actually a better cantrip. And then you get, at level 3, Ray of Sickness, which you can cast once per day for free. And at level 5, Hold Person, which you can cast once per day for free. You choose whatever spellcasting ability you like, and that's solid. You get a good cantrip, a decent spell, and a good spell. A Chthonic Tiefling gains resistance to necrotic damage. Not the most common damage type, but it'll come up here and there. And they get the Chill Touch cantrip, which has actually been nerfed, unlike Poison Spray. Now, instead of having a range, it actually is a touch-based cantrip. So you have to get up close, which is a little bit weird. Then you can also get the False Life spell at level 3 and the Ray of Enfeeblement spell at level 5. Both decent spells, not incredible. Definitely a step down, I'd say, from the Abyssal. And then you've got the Infernal Tiefling, which is the one that we all kind of know and love. You've got resistance to fire damage, so that's classic. You know the Fire Bolt cantrip, arguably the best of the 3 we've talked about so far. And then at level 3, you can cast Hellish Rebuke, and at level 5, you can cast Darkness. So this is the one that has kind of rolled over from the old Player's Handbook. I would argue it's the best, but I could see an argument for Abyssal. Hold Person's a great spell, and Poison Spray has been reworked. Poison Resistance is debatably better than Fire Resistance. I guess it depends on your game. The Chthonic Tiefling, being the new kid on the block, unfortunately does get the short end of the stick here. As far as this entire trait, because this is a single trait under the Tiefling's decision. This isn't a full-blown sub-race or subspecies like in the old books. It's just one choice, and it lays all this out for you. I think that I'm going to give this 9 out of 10. There's definitely 2 superior choices, and then one that's a little more thematic and not quite as potent, mechanically speaking. I'm not going to sayChthonic's the wrong decision. I don't think that. I think that you definitely can benefit from necrotic damage resistance. Ray of Enfeeblement's fine. I just don't think it's quite as good as the other 2. But you should definitely pick whichever one calls out to you. So with that being said, that there's some good, there's some decent in here, I think 9 out of 10 is fair for picking the legacy that speaks to you the most. And yeah, so 2 cantrips, Thaumaturgy and an attack-based cantrip, a damage resistance, a couple free spells, Dark Vision. It's all panning out pretty good. I think that the Tiefling is a solid 9 out of 10. It's not the strongest species in the book by any means. It doesn't get anything that blows your mind. But I definitely think there's merit here. And of course, being such a popular species in the old days, they're incredibly fun to play. And now you get some extra customization in here. I personally can't wait to play an Abyssal Tiefling. Leave the fire resistance at the door and take the poison resistance. Lean into that kind of demonic energy rather than the charismatic devil. I think that's fun, and I think that Tieflings definitely have some new fun role play and mechanics to work with here. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for the Tieflings. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more reviewed material from the brand new Player's Handbook coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.